Tom Bauer torn apart Harry after court loss, using his kids for security. We've been keeping a close eye on Prince Harry's recent movements, especially after that rather brief appearance at the coronation. Many of us thought, perhaps after the dust settled, he might just keep a low profile for a while. Maybe just stay tucked away in that Montecito mansion, enjoying the privacy he claims to crave so much. But oh, no, not our Harry. It seems the ginger winger, as some are calling him, has decided now is the perfect time to stir the pot even more. And let me tell you, what's come out is, well, it's honestly hard to believe. It's the kind of story that just leaves you shaking your head, wondering how did we get here? It was the moment no royal watcher truly expected, but it's a moment that, according to one respected voice, now defines Prince Harry's spectacular and, frankly, desperately sad fall from grace. We're talking about reports surfacing that Prince Harry has been caught knocking on doors in Britain. Yes, you heard that right. Literally knocking on doors, pleading for support in his ongoing, very bitter, campaign to reinstate full taxpayer-funded police protection. And royal biographer Tom Bauer, never one to mince words, has weighed in. And his take is brutal. He didn't just criticize Harry. He delivered a full-on, devastating diagnosis of the Duke's current state. He called Prince Harry a desperately sad figure. Think about that for a moment. A prince, once the most beloved member of the royal family, reduced to being called desperately sad. But Bauer didn't stop there. He insists that this failed coronation appearance, this quick fly-in and fly-out, means Harry is likely moping back to Montecito with an even bigger chip on his shoulder. And that something will happen next that will truly hit the royal family hard. Now, let's unpack this bizarre door-knocking business. For a man who screams about privacy, who moved across an ocean for freedom from the press and public scrutiny, the idea of him literally knocking on strangers' doors in Britain, well, it's not just to humiliate him. As Bauer points out, it's catastrophic. It shows a level of desperation that is, quite frankly, hard to watch. This is a man who once stood at the very heart of the monarchy, supported by the institution, given global platforms for his charitable work, adored by the public. And now, he's being reduced to what Bauer described as a desperately sad figure, wandering door to door. It's a pathetic image. It's a documented, televised implosion of Prince Harry's remaining dignity, exposed under the unforgiving spotlight of his own choices. For a man who wanted freedom, who wanted independence from the constraints of royal life, he seems awfully keen to demand the very same security that comes with it. He wanted out of the firm, but he still wants the perks. He abandoned royal duties, but he's demanding the privileges back. It's historic hypocrisy. Tom Bauer, in his appearance on GB News, painted a portrait of a prince unraveling. A man seemingly devoid of genuine purpose outside of airing grievances. Consumed, Bauer argues, by a sense of entitlement. Think back to what Harry himself said about his security in early 2020. He complained that overnight, he was reduced to the lowest security level after moving away. This was after losing a court appeal, demanding British taxpayers fund his security. The sheer entitlement is astounding, isn't it? He voluntarily left, severed ties with the working monarchy, but expected the British public to still pay for his private security detail in the UK. Bauer is right. He was not prepared to go to the coronation lunch. He was not prepared to stay for the concert, which, let's be honest, is much more his sort of thing than a formal ceremony. He wanted to be seen, but only on his terms, for the briefest possible time. He clearly feels furious, clearly feels humiliated by the reception he got, or perhaps the reception he did not get. But what else was he expecting? Here's where Bauer's take more damning. He didn't hold back on the accusation that Harry is allegedly wielding his own children, Archie and Lilibet, as emotional blackmail, using them, he suggests, to manipulate the institutions that have, quite rightly, moved on without him. This isn't just tabloid fantasy. This is a serious allegation from a veteran investigative biographer who has made a career out of holding powerful people accountable. The suggestion that Harry is using his children as leverage in his fight for security is chilling. Every time Harry faces criticism, it seems he invokes his children. When his security is questioned, he cites the safety for his family. When he's denied royal privileges, he voluntarily gave up. He plays the father card. But, as Bauer pointed out, this isn't necessarily concern. It's manipulation. Using children as shields from accountability is, frankly, beneath even the most shameless celebrity, let alone a former prince. It's exploitative. It's performative. And it's entirely inconsistent with the privacy Harry claims to crave for his family. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? If the children are less a priority for their well-being and more a tool in his never-ending battle for something. What do you think? Is Harry truly concerned for his children's safety, or is he using them as emotional leverage? Let me know in the comments below. Your perspective is important here. Bauer's central thesis is devastating in its simplicity and implication. Prince Harry has no purpose. He has no job in the traditional royal sense, no mission, no real identity outside of his last name. And, as Bauer put it, that aimlessness is fueling his descent into chaos. Look at the pattern since leaving the royal family. Has Harry produced any sustained, meaningful charitable work? Any real leadership beyond complaining? Any significant real-world results from his grand projects? What he has done is file lawsuits, attack his family, his brother, his father, and chase PR deals that seem to wither after a few headlines. Like that failed Spotify deal. Remember his ghost-written memoir, Spare? And that infamous Oprah Sit Down? All designed to trash the institution he's now, allegedly, begging for protection from. The British public is growing weary of this. Poll after poll shows the same result. Harry and Meghan are among the least popular public figures in Britain today. The once beloved prince who walked behind Princess Diana's casket is now, according to this view, a figure of derision. His return, security battle in tow, is being viewed not as a reconciliation, but as a nuisance. Even within palace walls, trust has evaporated. The late Queen's patience is gone. King Charles is cautious. And Prince William? Well, he seems pretty finished with the whole circus. There is no red carpet waiting. Only a cold, cobbled road of consequences. One of the most glaring aspects of this entire spectacle is where Meghan Markle is during all of this. While Harry is filmed in Britain, drenched in desperation and what looks like public humiliation, Meghan remains conspicuously absent, curating lifestyle launches, maybe planning a podcast revivals, doing photo ops with A-listers. It's not loyalty Harry's getting, it's just her own brand survival. Associating with a husband perceived as unstable, unstrategic, and increasingly unlikable, that's a liability. So, while Harry knocks on doors and grovels for security reassessments, Meghan stays safe in Montecito, keeping her distance from the UK drama and the embarrassment it has unleashed. Critics say this is no accident. Meghan, a master of optics, knows the tide has turned against Harry and the UK. Her political ambitions, her commercial deals, her brand survival, they all depend on calculated appearances. Appearances that don't seem to involve being by Harry's side when he's at his perceived lowest point in Britain. So here we are, Prince Harry, the self-styled modern rebel, reduced to door-knocking in Britain while being eviscerated on live television by respected commentators. He doesn't understand what being royal truly meant. He believed titles were transactional, that prestige could be rented, lost, and reclaimed like a gym membership. But monarchy doesn't work that way. It's built on restraint, duty, and grace. Harry abandoned the moment he boarded that plane to California and cashed in his heritage for a Netflix documentary and a grievance memoir. After years of public attacks from Oprah to Spare, the British public has grown weary of the royal exile's complaints. Losing this court battle, losing this argument for security, confirms what the public already suspects. Harry is no longer essential. He's a former working royal, now a celebrity in decline. And if the UK denies him this symbolic privilege of state-funded security, it's an official declaration that he chose exile. And with it, irrelevance. As this saga spirals, the question remains, how far will Harry go to claw back the status he so arrogantly threw away? Many now view his security crusade not as concern for his family, but as a craven attempt to guilt-trip the monarchy into reversing its decision, into giving him back the prestige he forfeited. As Bauer put it, he has no purpose, so he plays the only card he thinks will stir sympathy, his family's safety. But the world is catching on. Sympathy is curdled into skepticism. And the more Harry leans on this narrative, the more it erodes what little credibility he has left. With every door knocked, every plea for security, every podcast whine, every legal document filed, Prince Harry is no longer seen as a dignified royal, or even a credible activist. He is a cautionary tale. In America, he's become a joke, lampooned by comedians, mocked in right-wing circles, and increasingly ignored by Hollywood's elite. The Duke of Netflix has been downgraded to, dare I say it, a court jester with a Spotify flop and a ghost-written grievance memoir. In Britain, his image is even worse. He's the deserter who sold out his family for fame, the man who betrayed his brother, embarrassed his father, and dragged the monarchy through the mud, all while demanding they keep funding his lifestyle. The fallout is clear. Meghan doesn't want to touch the mess. The firm won't take his calls, and the public, both sides of the Atlantic, has largely moved on. Tom Bauer's brutal summary wasn't just critique, it was diagnosis. Desperately sad, yes, but also desperately lost. Harry has no role, no support, no throne, no respect, just lawsuits, tabloid headline, and a spotlight growing dimmer by the hour. So here we are, a prince once beloved, now wandering in self-imposed exile, knocking on doors like a political campaigner without a cause. No allies in the palace, no foothold in Hollywood, just a legacy defined by rebellion and stained by regret. The world isn't watching in awe anymore. It's watching in pity and in disbelief. And maybe, just maybe, it's watching the final act of a royal miscalculation so catastrophic, it might never be undone. What do you think? Should Harry come home to the UK and try to pick up the pieces, or stay in the shadows of California exile with nothing but his regrets? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to Royal Riffraff for more untold stories and behind-the-scenes analysis of the royal family. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.